A video on something I want to have a faff around with. So I did the Assassin's pasta, where you hard fry the pasta and almost burn it, and it's delicious. It's delicious. And I was kind of thinking, well, can we do the same with risotto and rice? Because the Chinese fried rice, you kind of want crispy bits of the fried rice, and then in Spanish paella, I've pronounced that wrong, I'm sorry, you want it to have a crust on the bottom, like a crispy crust. So I was kind of thinking, can we do the same with a risotto? So we're going to hard fry this rice and get it toasty, and I'm just doing a bit of drying up at the same time as I'm working. So I need to watch this pan. I can't just disappear off. So I'm going to hard fry it, give it some colour, and then I've got some. This is the water from some frozen prawns that defrosted that I had in the freezer. It was from a function, and I kind of thought, I'll use that up at some point. We might do a fake paella, or we'll do kedgeree or something like that. I thought that prawn stocky water will come in useful. It's nice. It's you really shouldn't use it, and I'm only using it because I am a professional and I know exactly what I'm doing. But it's full of flavour, and it seems a shame to throw it away. So we're going to use that as a stock, and then we've got some cheap tins of tomatoes from the supermarket. They're all right. They're a bit watery though. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the prawn water and the juice from the tomatoes to cook the rice and give it a hard fry. And then last minute, what we'll do is I've sweated down some onions, an onion, and the solid bits of the tomato. We'll give those a puree, and that's what we'll finish the sauce off with. So, and obviously we'll season it, type of thing. But are we getting at the stage where we need to be kind of doing something? I think that's probably more toasty than we'd normally have, but we kind of want it to be more toasty than we normally have, don't we? We want to kind of toast the rice, and then we almost kind of want to burn it as we cook it. So, but we'll see if this works. It doesn't. I'm just curious. So, dare I do that anymore? Let's try one more thing, and then we'll tip that stock on it. But it's getting pretty close. There's 150 grams worth of rice there, and I've put in chicken fat because that's what I've got in the house. Yes, I don't want to do it any more than that. So prawn stock in. It's going to make a steamy mess. So prawn stock in, and we'll give that pan a wash, and then so these are just, cheap ingredients are fine. You've just got to know how to use them. And I think, just because we're on a little bit of a budget doesn't mean we can't have nice things. And just because we're buying the cheaper tomatoes doesn't mean we can't make nice dishes. So that can come up quite high. You really shouldn't, once you've defrosted prawns, you kind of really should throw them away. This really shouldn't be taking the prawn water out of them, refreezing it, and then use it in a dish. But I've done it before and it didn't kill me. I was fine. So a little bit watery. So we'll just do that. Get rid of the excess juice, and we're left with those solid bits, which we'll add to the onions and puree down, because I want to I don't want lumpy sauce. So that looks like it's doing okay. Where is my so, but you get the idea of what I'm doing. And I want some salt in, a little bit of salt to start off the process, but I'm not going to move it around too much. But we'll just, over here, just puree this down. We'll plug it in and turn it on first. That'll do, and then we might finish off with some cheese. We don't know. Cheese with seafood. terrible, eh? Right. I'm really breaking all the rules today. So, but you get the idea of what I'm doing. Now, onions are one of those ingredients that you don't notice that it's, well, you notice if it's not in a dish, you don't necessarily notice that it's in a dish. So, onions are one of those base flavours and things, so it'll just make a little bit of tomato taste a little bit better. I'm going to put some pepper in now. We'll put some pepper in now, so pepper tastes differently once it's cooked, so you can put pepper in now and it'll mellow its flavour, and then we can add some freshly ground pepper at the very end, which will just give it a perfumey kind of flavour. But hard boil and get it down so it's almost sticking to the bottom of the pan, and then it'd be a case of adding more liquid as it's needed. But there we go. All that as liquid has evaporated off. Is it starting to caramelise? Little bit. Right, so hard fry. Just to the edge of cooked, burnt. Just to the edge of it. That's a little bit of rice there. How's that taste? Almost cooked as the rice, which is slightly concerning. But we can do this. You've just got to not be scared. Not put, I could have, you know, it's only 150 grams worth of rice. I wish I'd done more now. I wish I'd have done more. Maybe done 200 grams. But there's enough for me to eat. Ah, right, that's it. So, back to catch it in places, that's fine, that's what we want. So, keep hard frying. It'll caramelise now. We've got it covered in the tomato, so the tomato is more likely to caramelise stroke burn. But that's kind of what I'm wanting. That's what I'm wanting. Shame I haven't got any prawns to kind of throw in at last minute. We keep it moving with a little bit of a shake. So a little bit like a bubble and squeak, which is leftover mashed potato or potatoes with cabbage and onions, and you fry it up. So like from the evening meal from that before you have it for breakfast, like bubble and squeak the next day, which is fry it up and have it with eggs and bacon and all that type of thing, which is very nice. But similar type of idea, you want to fry it, get it a little bit crisp, turn it over, and then the crispness gets mixed into the dish, which is kind of what we're doing here. Probably, right, okay. So if I was to do this again, what I would do is I'd throw in I'd have two pans. What I'd do is I would fry the rice, give it some colour in one pan, and then in another pan I'd have the stock and the tomato. That's my hand, wonder what that was. Stock and the tomato in another pan, reducing down so it almost went to nothing. Then I'd throw the rice in, then I'd toast it all together. And then, so we got to this stage without actually cooking the rice and having it absorb anything. And then it'd be a case of adding that. But it's just a case of graving. Burning the rice. It's almost cooked. So, what we'll do is we'll throw in this tomato and we'll stir it around. I don't want to take it any further than that. Dare I? Yeah, let's take it further. Let's let it. Really should have the extractor on, otherwise I'm going to set the fire alarm off. Just open that door and we'll let the smoke out. If the fire alarm goes off, we'll just have to cope with it. Right. I don't think I dare take that any further. The rice is going to be overcooked. But anyway, right, so that in. That'll have all of that in. Right, if we treat that more as risotto now. We'll probably lock the starch in by frying it and treating it that way we did. I don't want to waste the last bit of tomato, do I? So we just need to cook that tomato. We'll give it a taste and then see if we're going to put any hard Italian cheese in it. Not gone very risotto-y, but not too worried. It's alright, the rice is hold together. It's another bit of water. Certainly doesn't need any salt. Yeah, I should have used more rice. Cheese over just a little bit. So it just goes to show we can be quite mean to rice, and we can't really ruin it. Nice as that. So we really shouldn't put cheese in seafood, but we're not Italian, so it doesn't really matter. Right, turn the heat off. You want the cheese to melt, you don't want it to split. And then it's just cheap, hard Italian cheese. It's nothing fancy. Although it might be. Who knows? Right, space on the phone. So, more cheese gone in. That's not looking a bad consistency, that. It's not looking a bad consistency. I'm not an expert in risotto. But we'll just use the rest of that cheese up, and then we'll give it a taste. But I think you could get away with just using the tomatoes. You won't need to put any stock in it if you want to keep the cost down. But I think hard frying of it will add a layer of flavour that you'd only get with low slow cooking of tomatoes. It doesn't look bad at all, that. Right, give it a taste. Thicken it should be. Do you know, that's pretty good. That's pretty good, is that? I'm going to call that a success.